I think I just mentioned before, when we were doing our FB live that yeah, and I heard you just mentioning in the back end there just about it. So that sounds awesome, man. Looking forward to it.
Yes. Yeah, we've got I think it's going to be maybe even an ongoing thing. We'll just see, see what the people need, what they want. Obviously, we've got this Twitch stream as a regular free source of information just pumping out. And
Yeah.
also, there's other content in the Discord as well. So, just a reminder anyone who's tuning in here, please do check out the Crypto Collective Discord. It's going to be a center for all our community interactions and such. But who knows, there might be a space for something in between where it's like maybe even a monthly crypto safari, I'm calling it. So we actually go out into the wilds of
Yeah.
cryptoverse, into the metaverse. We look at charts. We look at what NFT projects we're in. Maybe go into some Discord channels as well. I think it's always good to look at community back there. Um,
Yeah.
maybe even who knows. At the moment, I'm just using cryptoslam.io, but we had a discussion of maybe even getting a Nansen, like one of the top tier
Yeah.
Nansen subscriptions as well. So that kind of alpha is so valuable just to have a look at what's happening, where the big whale wallets are moving, the tide. So yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to provide that as much as possible.
Yeah. Totally. No, that's really good. And I mean, yeah, there's all the kind of little tricks of the trade that a lot of people just don't know about. So, yeah, I think it's really good to keep sharing that. So that's good. Yeah, man. Yeah. So what's on the menu for you today? What are you looking at, NFT or crypto wise?
I keep tuning in at the moment with the NFTs. I went all in, probably you did too, over the last few months, and so I'm really just looking at all of the, like I said, the Discord chats and the releases. I mean, at the moment, the ones that I'm watching most are things like Wicked Bone Club. I really like. They've
Mm,
got a whole ecosystem. They've also got Wicked Coins. They had some, there was that regulation because a lot of the NFTs started coming out
mm,
and were including a bunch of like passive income, DeFi kind of things. And I think that a few people got scared because there was some maybe threats or, is this a security or whatever it was. There was some sort of question
yeah.
about how to offer that kind of income.
Yeah.
So I think they might have shifted their plans slightly. But regardless, yeah, Wicked Bone Club for me is one that I'm really happy to be in. I've got my whole little posse. So with Wicked Bone Club, you get the ape. There's also the hounds, and now they're also split across to Solana because traditionally Wicked Bone Club was on Ethereum, and now they've also got their
Yeah.
penguins in the Soul space as well. So yeah, just enjoying
Yeah.
that. Basically, you do still earn Wicked though, so yeah, every few days I go and collect my Wicked, which is awesome. Also, I really like Board Mummy Waking Up. They had a really cute Halloween
Oh,
thing where they were having some candy, which is their kind of token, their internal utility token. So you could earn candy over Halloween, and I think they're going to look at how else to use that in the coming time. Yeah, Party 8 Billionaire Club. I really like the way that they've been releasing utility. Basically, they released that it's normal 10K project, but all of their costumes have a different function. So, it could seem like a boring costume, but for example, one of the turtleneck ones gave you potential to win a scholarship up to 30K, I think it was. One with a party blower, I think, got you a flight to Dubai for their actual IRL party. You've got one with
yeah.
like a work shirt, which gives you an investment in your entrepreneurial idea. So yeah, there's basically every single one of them have some kind of utility, which I think is a really nice way to
Yeah.
splice up the aesthetic part.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's so interesting to be involved in how this space is growing.
I'm not I'm
Um,
not sure if it's just my
I've
side, but
never
your
been
from
this
my side
excited for
your
crypto
internet
as in
connection
like,
is a bit choppy. It's kind of coming in and out.
ah, yeah, hang on.
Anyone who's in
Uh,
the room,
One
give
sec.
us a shout out in the comments and let me know. I don't think it's just my side. Are the viewers on Twitch also getting some chop from Troy? Let us know.
Is, is that any better? Or is it
Uh,
still big?
it's still choppy. Yeah, still choppy.
Hang on. Now let me. I'll change something. I'll just jump off for a sec. I'll just stop the video.
Easy, easy. Yeah. So hello for those who are live in the room, and for those watching the replay, just catching up a bit about NFTs, the ones that Troy and I are in. And we're just talking about, yeah, Bored Mummy Waking Up, Wicked Bone Club, Party Ape Billionaire Club. I mean, the glitches, Troy and I are both bullish on those. Daniel 100.eth is the guy behind it. Is one of the owners of a punk. I think that's the beautiful thing about some of these big blue chip projects like punks, like Bored Ape Yacht Club, is that these people are not just collectors. They're really instrumental in bringing other things forward. And generally, there's a level of or standard they're holding. So Daniel 100 is the guy, or the project lead behind Glitches NFT project. That's one that I'm in, and really enjoying the way that they've also got their own marketplace. So, and for Halloween, they just had an addition. I haven't seen this, and if you have seen this, let me know. But they had a thing where you could add a Halloween mask to your NFT. So basically, you went to their bespoke marketplace, connected your wallet, which verified all the NFTs you were holding, and then there was about 5 or 6 different Halloween masks, like Frankenstein. There's a werewolf one. There was Squid Games one, and you could put it on your NFT, so I actually covered the face of your profile picture, PFP NFT, and then it updated. You had to pay, so it was free, but you did have to pay the gas fee for updating that, which at me at the time was only about $12. And then I went across to OpenSea, and when you click into your NFT on OpenSea, you can refresh the metadata. You basically click into it, up top right, there's a little, we're very used to that refresher kind of circle arrow, and you clicked it, and the actual image in OpenSea updated, and you had a mask on. So I really like that kind of functionality where people that were early, this project only launched a couple of months ago, that is, I believe, only going to be available at that particular Halloween. So those masks, in my opinion, are going to be real rare items. So I've got a couple of them on some of my glitches. In the future, you can take it off. So if you didn't want to always wear a mask, you can totally remove it, but you can't put it back on. So do you want to take off the Halloween mask or not? So yeah, it's interesting because I believe that there's not that much rarity in the Glitches NFT project. There are some androids. There are some of those wearing sweatbands. There is a beanie. So there are a few. There's the VR goggles as well. So there is a little bit of rarity. But by and large, the project's all about diversity and equality. So I think that most of them are just, it's more about finding representing an NFT that looks like you, feels like you. So I really, really like the heart of that project. Also, they're putting some of the profits from the project into education facilities for minorities and really supporting that theme of equality, minorities, BIPOC, all these kind of things. So yes, that's also something that feels really personal when you join their Discord. Daniel's jumping on. It's a small team of like 3 people, I believe, plus moderators. So yeah, that's another one that I'm involved in, invested in, bullish on. What else is happening in the world of NFTs? I think we did mention it briefly on Facebook, but it does feel a little bit like the floor is being artificially held down at the moment in the NFT space, which is understandable with all the coins rocketing as they are. I think people want to have their money there as opposed to in the actual NFTs. And of course, there's a correlation between the NFT and the blockchain it's based on. So the ones that I'm invested in are mainly Ethereum and Solana-based NFTs. And as people watching the charts would know, both of those coins are just only up at the moment. So it's a good place to have your dry powder, as Elio Trades would say. He's another great person in the space of NFT gaming and such. Troy's joining me here. Hopefully his internet's a bit more stable. And we are recording this one as well, so I'm going to be chopping these bits up and putting it out on the Open World Arcade YouTube channel for those of you who want to watch the replays, and I'll be also linking those through into the Crypto Collective Discord channel as well. So there's heaps of value, even for those who haven't signed up for anything with Crypto Collective. It's just a bunch of free content. When you sign up to Discord, you've immediately got access to the public forum. You've also got access to some frequently asked questions and a few tips about automation and investing. I think some DeFi info there as well. So yeah, it's just a real quick start guide. You'll get access to the webinar that Troy and Kevin ran, as as Troy was mentioning, about a year ago. So just get involved, and there'll be plenty of stuff, including our NFT chat as well. So we're dropping a bunch of regular content about the projects we're looking at, our experience, and all that kind of thing. Because it's so hard for any one person, or even any two, three, four people, to keep up what's happening in the NFT space, particularly at the moment with such regular drops. And I guess maybe to throw to you, Troy, about your approach at the moment. My approach has shifted from being really excited about like freedom mint projects, or even mint projects, to be honest. One place I feel you can still fairly comfortably make gains, as far as my approach, and I've got a friend doing this, is flipping before reveal. So essentially, he's watching the places where there's a good amount of engagement on Discord, enough people following on Twitter, some good things being said in the general space. He's getting in on the mint, which I think in this particular case, he was minting a fat ape, which is another ape in the long lineage of ape NFTs. They get fat, they get hungry, they party, they do this, they get bored. And so he's grabbing that. I think it was minted at, what was it, 0.3 ETH? And now it's still pre-reveal. So what happens is you mint it, you don't know what you get, and then on OpenSea, sometimes for a day or two, there's just this generic kind of cover, so you're not sure what rarity you've got. It's a bit of a like blind box, collector card edition, and the price keeps going up. Now on reveal, understandably, the price will shift. I'm not sure, for those of you who are watching Metaverse, which was this big mecha robot kind of battle game project, and it was getting some crazy floor prices before reveal. I think, do you know how high it was? It was around 6 ETH, I think.
It was like, I'm sure it was, I think even some was 7. It was crazy.
Crazy. And then on reveal, just like plummeted. I think it was a mixture of, the art started to feel a bit generic when you looked at all of them together, and you're like, oh, this kind of feels like a soft, edgeless candy kind of thing. It didn't seem to have the soul. Anyway, that's from my personal subjective artistic opinion. And then of course rarity came up, where some people knew they had the like megalodon gigabyte amazing robot, and other people were like, oh, I've just got the generic vanilla. So it really, it dropped hugely in that. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people got burnt because there was so much hype around it. And I guess some people were buying for 4, 5, 6, 7 ETH, and then it dropped down. I'm not sure what it's around now, like maybe 1 or 2 ETH at the moment.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it was a real unfortunate kind of uh, it was just a real unfortunate kind of thing that happened. It was just not cool to watch. Like I wasn't a part of it because to me, when there's so much hype about something, I'm just not. Yeah, it doesn't resonate with me. So I wasn't a part of the actual mint or any of the buying or anything like that. I just kind of was watching from the sidelines. But honestly, it's just I don't like watching that stuff, and I don't find it's helping the space at all. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I really don't like. And I totally get, I totally get the flipping side of it, right? So I
Mm.
did a bit of that as well, and you know, um, Llama in the space, NFT Llama, he's got a lot of alpha in regards to the different things you can do, and
Mm.
that kind of thing, flipping and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, it just doesn't resonate with me as much. Like it
Mm.
kind of like links into like it kind of feels a bit like trading,
Mm.
which to me that's not the like to me it's like you like the project, you invest in it and see where it goes. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to make a quick buck, you can definitely do it. But
I think there's space for it all, and that's what I love about it. It's so diverse. If you're just interested in the art, you can come there and collect it. If you're just
mm,
interested in the community as people to belong and hang with, that's totally in spades. And if you're also just interested in the money and flipping, that's always, I think, always going to be an element, and brings a lot of different people in, and starts to become a career. I think a lot of people like NFT Llama. He's a young guy. I watched him build his community just in the last few months, from literally
yeah,
a few hundred up to now, I'm not sure how many thousands he has following him. So
yeah,
yeah, I appreciate the fact that flipping is possible, and I think some people do both. There's certain projects that I was mentioning, glitches as well, when you're off
yeah,
camera. Like, I really love that, the team behind it. I love the community. So there's certain ones that I'm just in, like the Wicked Bone Club, like glitches. I'm also really keen at some point to get into Lazy Lions. So yeah, there's certain groups that I think, yeah, cool, I want to be in your ranks. And then in the meantime, there's also things that are just sort of going by and flipping. I just want to
Yeah.
bring across here. I'm just going to bring it across. You won't see it, but you'll see it on the Twitch, just so people can see who are watching on the stream. This is the Mechaverse project I was talking about. These are these robots. So they are cool. They're kind of a 3D render of these sort of. Hey, Daryl Beaton's in the house. Welcome,
Yeah.
Daryl. So yeah, these are the kind of 3D, very Japanime kind of mecha warriors, as you can see. But then as you look here, the floor price is currently 1.11 ETH. And so what you'll be able to see if you click into any of these, and this is some of the kind of techniques I'll be encouraging people to do, when you click on the actual NFT itself, you can see some of the history. All-time high was 4.2 for this particular one. It's got a minimum bid. So also, as far as value goes, it's actually the WETH or the wrapped ETH bids that really show you the community value, meaning that this owner right now can accept a bid of zero point 0.6 WETH. Like I said, that's wrapped ETH, the same value as ETH. And that sort of gives you an idea. Also, you can come down here to the sales and transfers. As you can see, it was minted a month ago, and then it was sold 20 days ago for 4.2 ETH. So that's probably pre-reveal before it went down to 1. So that guy's sitting on, at this stage, what's that, like a 12K profit, or he dodged a 12K bullet because it dropped down to 1.1. So yeah, that's just what we're talking about when it comes to reveals. So yeah, a friend of mine's doing that at the moment with these fat apes, but that's a way you can do it with the unknown of what's going to happen. Now you might end up with like a golden guest or like a special rarity, in which case the value of yours could rocket after release, or it could dive down with these kind of
Yeah.
cases as well. So that's just another thing that some people are doing. But I'm with you, Troy. Like my
Yeah.
approach, talking about our approaches now, my approach is definitely sitting back, not getting caught up in the FOMO or the FUD of
Mm.
any particular project, and simply watching to see which ones actually prove themselves, which dev teams are starting to deliver. Even if I have to pay more
Yeah.
later on, I feel like it's actually better that because you can be scrambling and losing, as in this case, maybe
Oh,
12K.
totally. And if you're talking about even just trying to move something because it's not working or whatever it may be, like gas prices alone will kill you. Like, just the ETH gas prices will kill you alone. You're doing like $150 transactions or something and you're already at a loss. And it's just so, and I think what's really important to know and really important to share is that the people who it's a, I've very, very quickly picked this up that the people in the NFT space are the exact same people. What I'm saying, I'm going to talk about, sorry, Twitter now. So a lot of the people who are NFT experts and the guns in NFT, they're very 90% of them are very quickly to show you all their gains. But once again, like the traders on Twitter, very rarely do you see their losses. And there's a lot of people who have lost a lot of crypto in NFTs. So it's not just all about the gains. People are losing crypto as well because like that's just one example of a million examples that we could show you where someone's bought something for 4.2 ETH and now he's got an offer for 0.6, right?
Yeah.
So and he had it up for 1.1, didn't he? So he's already was that what it was?
No, 1.1 is the current floor. It was sold
Current
for,
floor, sorry, right.
yeah,
The current floor price is 1.1. So even if he sold it at floor price, he's literally lost 3.3 ETH. Now, if
yeah.
we want to put that into US dollar terms, that's like, I don't know, 18,000 US dollars or something. I don't know. It's just crazy. So
Mm.
it's really important to be very aware of the risks that are involved as
Mm.
well in this space, entering it right now, especially if you're kind of emotionally attached or some kind of a little bit reckless, you can kind of lose a lot.
Yeah, and I mean the fact is, I mean, I'm bullish on NFTs. I know the value in the metaverse, but at the same time, there is still some speculation involved at the moment because we really don't know who's going to prove the utility. Um, sure, some of them have DeFi functionality where you're actually making some money. I think that Cyberkongs is one such project. They've also got their banana token. They've got their banana shop. They've got land in Sandbox. They've got these voxel projects now, and that's actually, I think, as far as my approach, I'm looking at big blue chip projects like Cool Cats, like Bored Ape Yacht Club, like now Cyberkongs, which is raised to almost that rank as well, and looking at their subsidiary projects. So if you've got Bored Ape Yacht Club, you've also got the Kennel Club, Bored Ape kennel club or whatever they call it. So you've got
Yeah.
these like these pets for the apes, and you've got the same thing I think with cool cats. I think there's mutant cats with their fish
Yeah. Oh, and
token.
there's mutants as well with Bored Apes. Got the mutant ape
I
yacht
like
club.
them more than the bored apes. I'd be actually
Yeah.
more stoked with a mutant. Yeah, and of course for a
Yeah.
price point, it's like a tenth of the cost.
Yeah.
And what was the other one I was mentioning there? I forgot. But anyway, a lot of them have these subsidiary kind of projects which you can get involved in. So, oh, that's right, the Kongs. So the Kongs are basically this PFP or profile picture NFT project. They've got their Genesis release. And then after that, they've also got these voxel, which is like a 3D character that you can walk around in the metaverse with. And those are much cheaper. I don't know the floor price on those, but I think it's around an ETH or something like that. So
Mm.
when you see these blue chip projects, they do release their kind of buddy projects still under the same umbrella, and they tend to
Yeah.
be a lot more reasonable entry point.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think at the end of the day, one of the huge things, especially in this NFT space, is the community. So it really comes down to what the community values it at, and that's the reason why things like, oh, I'm going to use the example. We talked about Bored Apes, and there's a lot of monkey talk here, right? It's just how it is in this space. You got to deal with it. But there's one Solana Monkey. Is it Solana Monkey Business
Yep, yep.
SMB?
SMB, yep.
So that's something that's like this little pixelated monkey, right? It's literally just the head of it too, isn't it? It's just a little pixelated monkey, and by pixelated we mean this thing is big. I don't know if you can pull a
Yeah, yeah.
picture
I'll
up of one,
pull it
bro.
up. Yeah, yeah.
But these things are absolutely blowing up, and so I've been in the Solana NFT space pretty much since the beginning. I missed the Degen Ape mint because I was too involved with ETH at the time and just missed the mint, and I wasn't thinking, but that's fine. But then I've been able to catch a couple of really good projects, but this is one that I missed. I didn't think that it would do what it's done, but it's literally become the Bored Ape Yacht Club of Solana, and
Yeah.
whales are absolutely
Loving it. I'm bringing it across now.
dominating
So
on
for those on the Twitch stream, you can see right now, this is what we're talking about when we're talking about Solana Monkey Business.
Yeah, so we're literally talking like a a pixelated monkey, right? And yeah, it looks pretty cool. But like some of these monkeys, so one literally sold yesterday. It was like, geez, I think it was like 2,500 SOL or something. Like we're talking it was over 2,000 SOL. So let's even say it's 2,000 SOL times 240, like 480. We're talking $500,000 US,
Mm.
right? That one of these sold for. Yes, it was one of the most rare ones or whatever. But these things are crazy. Like, and all these things minted for like, I think they minted for 2 SOL. I think they did. Like, I think it was like 2 or 3 SOL. It might have been 4 SOL. I don't know. I remember seeing it at the time. It's so bad looking back on it. You're like, why didn't I just mint one? But
But you don't
it's
know.
like
There's so many. There's just so many because
it's like
you'd be literally minting all day, and
you would,
yeah,
and then even then, you would probably miss the one that absolutely rockets, right? And there's
mm.
another one that I'm very passionate about on Soul called Soul Snatchers, which are kind of like these Grim Reapers. I don't know if you can bring up a picture,
Yep,
maybe bring up a picture of one of yours, mate, or whatever.
yep.
But they're like Grim Reapers, and they're like bringing a whole. They're creative, so they're
I'm bringing
what
them
I
across
actually
now.
did crazy.
So
Sorry.
I'm bringing it across now. So those on the Twitch stream can see here. I'm on the Soul and Art store.
Yeah.
So for those of you who wanted to get into some Soul NFTs, me personally, I think a lot of the big blue chips in the movement is still in ETH, but second
Yeah.
rank is definitely Solana. And solanart.io is a curated marketplace. So there's some kind of quality checking. These are the Solanart ones. So these are the Soul Snatchers that Troy's about to talk about. And I just wanted
Yeah.
to also show, don't always look at the floor, because when you look at these particular aspects, for example, let's go to Beard Cthulhu. I've got a Cthulhu beard one, so you can click there, and then there's a lot of different kind of styles. There's like samurai, there's light eyes, there's all sorts of ones. So take your time to really look at all the different aspects to these. But anyway, back to you. But these are the Soul Snatchers that Troy's talking about.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things that I wanted to mention about this, and the first thing I wanted to mention is more so not really about the actual project. Sorry, could you just bring it up just one more time, bro?
Yeah.
Just the that page. I just wanted people to have a look at. A lot of people focus on the floor,
Yeah.
and what I actually focus on, especially with this project, and I'm fairly involved with the community, is that if you look right at the top there, you'll see that there's the actual amount that are listed. So right at the top, yeah. So you'll see that the items that are listed are 1,433 out of 10,000 items. So you actually got less than 15% of all snatches, all soul snatches, 1433. Yeah, sorry, so less than 15% of all snatches that are out there that have been minted, because they minted 10,000 of them. Less than 15% are actually listed, right? And obviously there's a couple more that are on Alpha Art and others, so maybe it might be 16 or 17%. And it's been proven that projects that have less than 20%, I feel that 20% is that kind of mark. If they've got less than 20% that are actually people are willing to sell, then they're the kind of projects that I like to be a part of, because they are the kind of ones where you've got so many more people that are diamond handing it, right? And they're holding on to those things because they believe in the long-term value of it. And the great thing that I love about Soul Snatchers is that, one, it's a great entry price for people to get in if they're looking to get their first NFT. But secondly, the the community, I feel, is one of the best, if not the best community that I've connected with on Discord. And they actually have there's this team, like the dev team, the development team are like, they work completely different to every other development team there is out there. Like this team, like most development teams, are kind of like, there's a lot of hype, there's an announcement every 3 hours, there's like Twitter pumping, like it's all about hype and all this crazy stuff. And Soul Snatchers literally operate directly opposite to that. Now, time will tell whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. But one thing I'll give them is that they're operating completely different to everyone else. Like the team is building. That's what it seems like. I mean, they've released some stuff of this soul underworld and this underground portal where you can kind of take it.
Talk about that. That's big. These are the kind of things which I think start to pull an NFT project into more of a metaverse experience. So if you're a holder of a Soul Snatcher, I think it's random times, this portal opens up into what they're calling the underworld, or the soul underworld, and you can send an NFT in, like a character, into a game, and then you have the potential. It's kind of a coin flip. You have a potential either to get the treasure, or you might actually have your NFT burned, as in you might lose it.
Yeah. So it's kind of and the great thing is that it's kind of built for people who have a lot of snatches, as in like the real proper holders. Because if you've got some of the more rare holders, some of the more rare snatches, then your chances in the Soul Underworld are higher. So you can send some of your low rank snatches. So you might have some snatches that are like ranked 9 to 10,000. You can send them into the Soul Underworld, but because you're holding maybe like a top 50 or a top 250 snatcher, or several top 250 ranked snatches, your chances of your foot soldier that you send into the Soul Underworld is going to have a much better chance of survival and much better chance of bringing back a reward.
Nice.
I think that not only encourages obviously people to hold their snatches, but also people to kind of rebuy and get some more floor snatches, but also encourages people to buy the higher rank snatches as well, because it's going to increase your chances in the Soul Underworld. And the third aspect that I really like about it is that the one that Atlas just mentioned, where you have a chance of losing it, right? And every time, and when you lose it, the snatchers devs don't take that snatcher and sell it to someone else. That snatcher gets burnt. So then the supply is 10,000. It'll go to 9,999. Then every single time you lose that, someone loses a snatcher, it decreases, right? So you've got this very slow burning deflationary asset as well.
Nice.
And then on top of all that, I don't know if you saw some of the drops that they did last night, man. The utility for the Underworld, they dropped the Hellhounds.
Yeah, the Hellhounds.
So I'll show you. I've got to show you the one that I got a fair few of them because I hold a few snatches. But I'll show you my favorite one. It is absolute.
You can do a screen share.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Where am I? Oh yeah, I'll just do it through. Of course, do it through Zoom.
Yeah, just here.
Silly me. Hang on, let let me just open it here. NFT eyes. There we go. So this is one example that I can show you
Oh wow,
guys.
I didn't know. I just checked and I've got a hound too. I got dropped. That's
Oh,
cool.
epic. Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't
So
know.
you've got, so for every 2 snatches you had unlisted that you didn't have listed on Solana or any of the others, you get 1 hound. And this is
Dope.
probably my favorite hound out of all my hounds. Like, check out that art, man.
So good.
That is like seriously, like, and these hellhounds, they call them, are going to be a utility in the soul underworld that's going to kind of like accompany your snatcher. So there's already speculation and all kinds of cool stuff about like that if you've got a certain, so you can see over here, you see that they've got like different attributes. So this one has a green body, its legs have devilish flame legs, it's got fire breath. So it's going to have different attributes. So there's already talk that a certain type of hound, if you send it in with a snatcher, it's kind of going to have extra powers and stuff. And I
Wow.
know we're kind of talking all like gibberish at the moment, but the thing is
No.
that this is the cool new world that we're living in. And the other thing is that we've got to realize that this whole technology and all this stuff is so appealing to the younger generation, and this is the kind of generation that all these projects are really targeting. And obviously myself, I've got a bit of a soft spot for this art because I just think the art is just epic. I mean, even some of these ones here are really cool.
Yeah, let's have a look at your collections. Show us some of your snatches.
Yeah. So this is one of my wallets that I've got. This is my DGen wallet where I just bought a heap of. These are my I call this my foot soldier wallet. So these are all classes. That isn't a floor snatcher, but we call these floor snatchers. So as in the ones that are just the ones that you'll send in. So like these ones kind of thing. They've just got a standard scythe, which is the axe. A standard kind of looking soul snatcher, but then you've got so they've got different attributes. Like you got this guy, he's got a broom, but then they've got different weapons. So you got another one over here. This guy's got an Uzi, so and he looks a bit more cool. And so and then you got different ones like this. This guy's got armor and stuff, right? So he's obviously going to have maybe more defensive capabilities. Who knows? Whatever it may be in the underworld, how it works. But then and you've got all these. So what we got given last night, so Atlas just mentioned that as well, as all these hounds we got dropped. For every 2 snatches you had unlisted, you got dropped 1 hellhound. So these are pretty cool.
So cool. And for those of you who are getting into Soul and art and want to be able to view your Soul wallet, nfti's.global is the website that Troy's using there.
Yeah, and I'll quickly just show you, just while I'm doing this, I'll just stop sharing, but I'll just show you guys some of the kind of really cool art in this project. Here we go. So I'll just drop this wallet address here. Just share my screen again.
Yeah.
So this is some of the kind of cool art. So I'll go down. Where did I go on that other view? I'm trying to work this out. Anyway, this is some of the cool art of some of the snatchers. Like you've got as the ranks start getting higher, you get like random features. Like so, this guy's got like they call like a K-pop head. So like Korean K-pop head hair. I've got a guy here that has a full helmet hair, and that's a 1 of 1. You've got diamond scythe ones, rainbow skin, all this kind of stuff, right? It just adds to the kind of rarity of it. And then we're still not yet to find out what kind of rarity these dogs are, but the hellhounds. But I mean, if you're a collector, they just look fucking epic anyway. Sorry, I don't know if I'm meant to swear, but they just look epic anyway.
Yeah.
If they have, and they're going to have extra utility. So I actually believe that if you're a real believer in a product or a project or whatever, you know, go. I'm not saying, you know, go crazy, but like invest in them, right? So if you believe in what they do and you believe in what it is, invest in it. And what I've kind of connected with that particular community is that, like I said before, the devs are working completely different to any other. Do you reckon there's any other devs that do what they do, bro? I don't think there is. Like it's like hard love.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah. Well, I mean, as long as the main thing is that people are delivering on their roadmaps and they're pushing out and they're developing a project, that's the most important thing. Like you could have the opposite where someone's just totally answering all your questions and hand holding and doing announcements every day. And if the project's not moving, that's going to go sour pretty quickly. I think obviously, ideally, you want both. You want people who are pumping stuff out and doing the work.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I don't know any any other projects that I'm a part of that are quite as absent.
yeah.
Um, but
Even,
yeah,
even
there's a few other projects which feel more like a rug pull, but this one doesn't feel like a rug pull because I think they do still do public promotions. They're
yeah,
still trying to get some influencers and stuff linked into the project, and they're pushing forward on this key utility, which is one of the unique features of it, which is this underworld. So yeah, as long as they keep delivering the product, I think they're good.
yeah. So that's kind of our like little ventures that we've got at the moment. I've got a few. There's a couple of Ethereum ones, and I want to mention this one actually, and we'll talk about lots of different things. But while we're talking about NFTs and communities and stuff, there's a really interesting NFT that I've been a part of for a couple of months now, which is called Koala Intelligence Agency, which is KIA. And the thing I don't. This is one thing. This is one project where, to me, common sense has flown out the window and just like rational thought has flown out the window, as in they have such a tight knit community. Like the community is so strong. You go on their chat, like there's hardly any FUD in the main chats. Like there's so many people, they've got big influencers on board. Like we're talking like accounts that have hundreds of thousands of Twitter followers, and they've got all this crazy stuff happening for them. But yet the floor price, right? And we know we don't talk about floor price, but the reason why I'll talk about floor price with the koalas is that the floor price is like down to like, I know all projects have taken a bit of a hit when they've had the kind of gas sucked out of them, stuffed out of them because of the price rise in crypto. But the floor price is like zero point 0.1. But I don't know if I can share the screen again. I don't know if you can,
Yeah,
Atlas, but
I can
we
read
look at a
across. Yeah.
floor price. What I worry about with a floor price sometimes is that if it's low, but then if it's like it's concrete low, as in like there's heaps of them at the floor, like,
Yeah.
and they're just not shifting,
Yeah.
and it just makes no sense because this project,
Bring it across now for those of you who want to see. So yeah, that's what we're looking at there with Koala Intelligence Agency, zero point 0.1 floor. Also, the other thing that I always look at is distribution. So it's got a clean 5K owners for a 10K project. So
yeah,
that averages out to be basically 2 koalas per owner. But
yeah,
that's a good. That means that it's not just like a one dev and their friends owning like 90%.
yeah.
There's actually a good distribution. Also 12K ETH volume traded, looking
So
healthy,
it's
and they're
like
cool.
the data is really good, man. It
Mm,
makes no sense. Their floor price makes no sense to me. I just can't. You go on their community, their Discord, so positive. There's so many good things that they're like building they're all about the metaverse, and they're building all these different platforms and these things that can connect in with it. But you see, look at that. Like the floor is like concrete, dude. It's
yeah.
like zero point 0.1, 0.11, 0.13. Like it's just like, and if you go to the activity of what's being sold, it's like it's really dried up.
Yeah, I'm looking here at this is recently sold, so it's around the zero point 0.1 kind of mark,
Yeah.
even lower, zero point
Some people have
0.08.
accepted, like, look at that. Like some people have accepted 0.07 offers and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like but this is a project that this has genuine long-term
This
potential,
one's
right?
dope. I like this burning one. It's great with a
Oh
bean
man,
with a
there is
beanie too. Wow,
so many,
what's buying
so
that?
many good. There's so many amazingly good aspects and positive aspects to
Oh,
the
look at this
koala.
one, lightning
Yeah.
translucent and Robo. Look with the oh my god, he's got. So these are some memes. These are some tropes.
So
In
this look at that. If you scroll up there, that that scroll up just a little bit. It went for, well, even that one went for 0.2 ETH. That one went for 0.4. That radioactive one. It's
Yeah,
crazy, man.
yeah. And so that's the thing
Insane.
to look at. There's a few things for those who are just starting to trade in it. You've got the listed price. In this case, it's like 10 bajillion ETH, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't still bid on it. So if you
Yeah.
come in here into it, you can also, well, you can buy now for that, or you can make an offer. And so the offer is basically when you will put a bid on it, and then the owner can, they might go, oh wow, this floor is really dropping away, in which case I'm going to accept whatever small amount that they want to accept for it. So you can always bid. And the cool thing about OpenSea as well is you can bid on a number at the same time. So if you've got something available to you, say if you've got even half an ETH, you can go and bid on as many projects as you like for that amount.
Yeah, totally, totally. And yeah, and like I said, guys, I guess I'm just trying to point out with that project that I don't know. Sometimes the data makes no sense. So sometimes you're looking at a project and you're just like, I mean, I think another project, dude, that makes no sense with floor price right now, and it's probably only volume as well as the glitches. I know we mentioned it before, but the glitches only
Totally.
have they have like 60% or 65% um, ownership to per glitch, which means that at least 60 odd percent of people own only one, right? And most of the time, when someone owns one, they just hold it. It's just something they're holding in their wallet. So the to me, those ratios are not making sense. So something like the koalas, like the glitches. I mean, there's probably three or four other projects we can
Yeah.
point out.
The
One,
glitches, yeah, let's talk about the glitches because they've got obviously good amount of volume traded. As you said, the distribution is really good. It's 3K holders of a 5K project, so it's really good in that way.
yeah.
Floor price really low. They've also got this unique thing which they did. Did you put any masks on your
I
glitches?
I was so involved with doing other stuff that I didn't get the time.
Ah,
No,
so
over
yeah,
Halloween.
they've got their special own marketplace, and you can put on these masks. So that's the Jason one. So you can take it off as well. But I think that these are going to become really rare items because only those who were there at the time, and in the case of Troy, who weren't too busy, got to actually
Yeah,
put the masks on. You can take it
yeah,
off, but then you can't put it back on. So as you can see, there's going to be a few of those which become, I think, kind of rare items. But yeah,
yeah. I agree.
here's the general look. Here's another really nice mask. This is the Day of the Dead mask. But yeah, really low floor price. And looking at the sales, they're consistent. They continue to sell, but they are
Mm,
selling very cheap. I ended up getting an Android for 0. I think it was 0.3.
yeah,
So I was
wow.
pretty stoked with that the other day. And you can check that for those of you not used to navigating OpenSea. This is where you look at all the different features and that sort of thing. For example, you can look at the glasses. I think I'm always a sucker for 3D or VR glasses. So you've got a
Mm,
few of these with them. Obviously, these are a bit higher. They're looking at anywhere between zero point 0.4 to up to an ETH. And then another
yeah,
aspect, which is where's the skin? Not sure why I can't see the skin. Anyway, they do have Androids as well. But yeah, another project that has great community, great vision. They keep delivering on their. They didn't even really push a roadmap. That's the other thing I liked about him. He wasn't hype.
mm,
He was just sort of making these things. The people who are most active on the Discord for the glitches ended up getting an apartment in another metaverse project called ETH Towers, or I think it was ETH Towers. So
yeah,
simply by being there, you don't have to buy your way into these projects. You can get them for really cheap around mint price, do your research on the fundamentals and the team behind it, and then just participate in the Discord. And then in this case, you would have actually gotten a whole apartment in a metaverse project.
yeah. And what we mean by an apartment is a virtual apartment. You wouldn't been given an actual real life apartment.
Well, it
It
could be just as good. And in the
could
coming real
be.
estate prices, I think owning a metaverse apartment can probably end up being maybe sold one day for good. But
Totally.
it's all about which one accrues the community. And this is the
Yeah.
thing that frustrates me about economics of like paper hands, and they call them diamond hands, the people who hold paper hands are those who drop, is the fact that we as the holders of a project dictate the value of the project. so
Yeah.
so it's like when you start to paper hand, you continually undercut the floor price, go lower, lower, lower. The value of everyone's item, apart from maybe the most rare, goes down, and the
Mm.
value that you as a flipper, as a trader can get goes down. It just makes no sense. Like if you collectively say we're all gonna list at 1 ETH, 2 ETH, 3 ETH, bling, magic, your project becomes a blue chip if you can hold it. So it's just, yeah, that FUD and the fear and the paper handing, just everyone loses. And I hope that we can start to understand that, and become communities. And maybe a 10K project's hard to do, to coordinate 10,000
Yeah,
people. Maybe 5,000 or even 3,000 people is easier to do that with. But you could quite literally make a project and almost turn it into a blue chip in a few months, simply by getting people to hold and continue to prove utility and have a good community, and then suddenly you're up there with the ranks of these really big $100,000, $1 million projects.
well, that's what SMB did, Solana Monkey Business. So they got 5,000 that were minted. So obviously they're already one up because they've got half the amount of everyone else or most other projects, and literally, like, just no one listed, no one sold. They're all like, but they build up this amazing community, and they're just like, we're not selling. And within the space of no time at all, like as I said, I think it minted for like 3 or 4 soul, I can't remember, but then it was up to 25, like in a flash.
Mm.
And I remember seeing it at 25, just going, oh, gee, it's a pixelated monkey.
Regret.
Right. And then before you knew it, it was at 60, 70, 80, 100. And I don't think it's actually gone under 100 soul since then. I think it went to 200. And I think it's hovering around that 200 soul
What are
mark.
they selling on? Because I'm not seeing them on Solanart. Are they on?
Yeah, and this is a great thing. This is where the community and the dev team and everyone is so solid. It's so similar to Bored Apes, in regards to how they do. There's not crazy amount of communication, but there's enough that's pumping through that keeps things going. And they have they created, I think it's called the Monk DAO, so they've already created their own DAO, which we'll go into at another time, probably not on this video, but
yeah.
And so they created that as well, and that's just only added more value.
Oh, and they've actually got their own marketplace now. I see it here,
do.
market.solanamonkey.business.
Yeah. So they literally have their own marketplace now.
Wow. Okay, that's how big they are. Right.
And what's the floor price? It's around 200, isn't it? I think now.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if that is the floor, it's 220. Oh no, 240. No. Let's have a look. Floor price is 199. It says
Yeah,
there.
200. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, Troy is an idiot for not buying the 25. That's the moral of the story here. Okay?
That's the takeaway from this particular live stream, is that Troy is
particular live stream. That's the moral. And the only other one I want to really mention, I mean, we could talk all day, but on the Solana network, have you seen? I don't know if I've talked to you about it. Solsteads.
Mm-hmm.
So like the virtual
for real estate. Yep.
Yeah, they call it surreal estate.
Surreal estate. Nice.
But this is something that I believe is going to be. This is one that is one of those ones that become a blue chip nearly straight off, and that was because, one, they're a trailblazer in the space for Solana with what they're doing, but there's only like 2,400 of them or 2,500 of them or something. So once again, they've got that smaller amount, right? So supply and demand. So if demand is there, supply is low, price is going to go up. But they did a massive peak up to like 100 soul floor, but then they've taken a real retracement now with everything else. I think it's about a 25 soul floor or something at the moment. 17,
yeah.
Oh, it's dropped even more. Jeez, I didn't even know. It was 25 yesterday. There you go. Yeah. That's what happens when the price of soul goes up.
Yeah.
Everyone, paper hands kick in. So that minted for 0.25 soul.
Wow.
0.25 soul.
Quarter, yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, there's some pretty cool projects out there that, once again, not financial advice, but that we believe and we see that can be real proper projects.
I think, like, talking about being a trailblazer, that's the sort of thing. After a while, you get saturated in a certain area, like the 10K creature projects. Now I get DM'd every day on Instagram with these promotions about, oh my God, the new one. And to be honest, the art looks just as good. And I'm sure they're copying a lot of the functionality, but you need the community, you need the demand. So I'm kind of sitting back and watching which ones kind of rise to the top. The two that I'm waiting to buy myself, this is my personal kind of wish list, is a Lazy Lion and the MetaKey. And the MetaKey is actually very affordable. That's only... The previous ones are about 6.4 or 2 ETH, but the current one, because they have these iterations of them, is only about 0.25 ETH. So very affordable. The reason I mention it is it's doing something different. So you've got these real estate or surreal estate projects, which Troy mentioned, and some of them aren't doing that well. I bought a Soul City, which is just totally tanked. So, who knows which one is going to go well. I think the Soul Steads is different because it's sort of like your place on Solana block to sort of make like not a Sims kind of thing, but that kind of thing where Animal Crossing, whatever, you've got a place and you can display your NFTs and it's like
Yeah.
your home. So if you see something like that, it really stands out from the 10K creature projects. And then the meta key I mentioned, because that is also, it's not about a PFP, it's not about a character or a person. Instead, it's about this access point. And looking at the team behind it as well, I think it's one of the key bloggers from Decentraland. He's involved in the project. And yeah, I'm interested to see what that can do, because I think what they sort of say on OpenSea is that they're trying to look at the utility in the metaverse for an NFT and what it can unlock. So if you even if you spread around, and usually if you get early in these projects, as Troy said, it's like 0.25 Sol or similar kind of for ETH, and you can potentially invest across a few of them. So if you go say 4 or 5 of a particular area, a PFP project, a surreal estate project, a meta key project, the likelihood is that one of them is going to start to get utility and get a community, and that's when you get the astronomical moon kind of rises. So that's my approach, is to look at the different utility and approaches to this common space of NFTs.
Yeah, totally. And that's look, I think that's the only way to look at it, because yeah, but look, we're in such a rapidly evolving market. It's kind of like it feels like it's very invigorating, but it sometimes feels like it sucks the life out of you some days, because you're just like, why can I just want a day off? Like, I can't ever take a day off, because it's just, there's so much happening every single day, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a drug that you just keep coming back.
Totally, it hits a lot of dopamine supply requirements. Like, it does have the cute collector thing. Anyone who is a card collector, I know, Magic the Gathering, or I used to collect Garbage Pail Kids stickers. I still don't know where that I had this tin full of them. I don't know where it is. But anyway, for those of you who like collecting, baseball cards, basketball cards, literally NBA Top Shots, is one of the key NFT projects. It hits that kind of collector and even hoarder in people, but it also has that gambling aspect, like Troy was saying, oh, why didn't I get that, Solana monkey business? Why didn't I get the cryptodes, whatever it was when it came out, and these things that rocket up? And it's giving enough of a quick feedback loop where within a few months at this stage, you can have something go from whatever, a few, maybe $100 up to $100,000. And so that's the kind of the dopamine hit that can be scratched there. And not even that, like in my position, to be honest, because of the current bull run, I'm actually more interested in keeping what I've got liquid to rise. I'm not necessarily buying many more NFTs at the moment, but I'm well in, probably too heavily invested anyway, on my portfolio into that. But I think even just keeping up with the discords, like I actually missed the Board Mummy Waking Up game with the candy over Halloween. I just wasn't around. I had to go and link my wallet up to something and then play and da-da-da. I know that with the glitches as well, they've got this, I think like a basketball league for your avatars to play. So yeah, once you're actually in, you can just sort of sit back and let it do its thing. But if you want to participate in the community and add value, and therefore add value to your NFT in the long term, it actually takes, you got to show up to your club. You got to be on the playing field.
Yeah, totally. And and I think at the moment, because of the saturation that's happening and everyone trying to get in, all these new projects trying to get in, there's it's actually really devaluing a lot of the good stuff that's out there and the legitimately good stuff. And then obviously we're kind of connecting with the current run where everyone wants to keep liquid to get US dollar value, and it's one of those times where I'm just kind of like, because I don't personally, right, there's a lot of people don't think this way, but I'm just like, I just don't give a shit about US dollar value whatsoever, because I've just, fiat to me is just complete waste of time to have or hold. So I'm kind of like, it's going to be cool when I have to cash some crypto out over the next few months. It's going to be cool to pay for living expenses, and I don't have to cash as much crypto out. But like, at the end of the day, like, it's US dollars dog shit. So I'm like, why people are so still attached to that? They're still attached to being a millionaire or a billionaire in US dollars, and I just doesn't interest me whatsoever, because I'm like, it's such a deflationary piece of shit assets that it's got no long term value whatsoever. So, I get why people want to do it, but maybe they want to buy real world products and stuff, which is fine, but yeah,
And
makes no
also,
sense.
as far as when it comes to real world projects, and this is a call out to anyone watching this to start to incorporate crypto into your business, is that the more of us that actually start to accept crypto for any of our products and services, the less of the quote unquote real world purchases need to be made in fiat anyway. So there becomes no need to actually off ramp back into fiat at all when you can just be trading a service. I've got some clients that pay me in crypto and it never needs to see the light of day as far as the normal bank sort of goes. So yeah, we can do this. We can do this together.
Totally, man. Totally.
Cool. Well, we're on the hour mark.
Yeah.
I reckon that's good for today. Any last wrap up thoughts? What's your plan for the rest of the day? Gonna take some time with the family, or are you gonna get back into the charts?
I'll probably have a bit of a look. I'm glutton for punishment, so I'll probably have a look in there. But yeah, I'm a bit the same as you at the moment. I'm kind of just I've got some really solid NFT plays that I like. That a couple of them are taking a bit of a breather at the moment because of the run up, but because of the project and what they are, I'm just seeing it out. And other than that, dude, just chilling out, checking out a few new things. Obviously, we'll try and drop in to the Discord a bit later and have a bit of a chat. It's getting active in there, which is epic. So
yeah, thanks for joining there. Just a reminder, there will be an NFT giveaway this Sunday for someone who both follows us on Twitch and also Discord. So
yep.
be in the running for that. We'll go through the names and we'll definitely we'll do some random number generator for that. It'll be fun. We'll do it as part of a Twitch. We are here again every day this week in the lead up, just to keep the lifeblood flowing here. So it'll be again tomorrow at, what is it? It's 6 p.m. New Zealand time, 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time.
Yes.
Tomorrow we'll be back on. And just a reminder that I'm running this webinar, the Crypto Safari. It's the AMA is this weekend on Saturday, and then the actual 2-day event, it's just 2 hours on Saturday, 2 hours on Sunday, will be following weekend. So check out openworldarcade.com for those tickets. And other than that, I'll see you in the Crypto Collective Discord and ask any questions there.
Cool.
Thanks,
Catch you, bro.
Big love.
Have a good
Bye.
day. See you, mate.